There is a version of anger that nobody talks about. Not the kind that explodes, not the one that is screaming, the slamming doors, the things you regret saying. The quiet kind. The anger you're swallowing in the middle of argument because you don't want to cause a scene. The anger you turn on into a joke because vulnerability feels too dangerous. The anger you bury so deep you stop recognizing it as anger at all. It just becomes tension in your shoulders. It becomes distance in your relationships. It becomes that low irritability that follows you through your days like shadow you can't shake. Most people were never taught what to do with anger. They were taught to manage it, suppress it, control it, rise above it. But here's what I learned the hard way. Anger that has nowhere to go doesn't disappear. It just finds somewhere else to live. For most of my life, I was what people would call calm. Not because I didn't feel anger, because I was terrified of it. Growing up, anger was meant a chaos in my environment. It meant things breaking, relationship breaking. So I made a decision early on, probably without realizing it. I was making it that my anger is dangerous, that it needed to be contained, hidden and managed. And I got very good at that. I could sit in situations that deserved rage and feel completely still on the outside. And people would say, "You're so calm, you're so controlled." What they don't see, what was happening underneath. During my addiction years, anger was there. I just had a very effective way of not feeling it. Substances are incredible at that. They put a thick wall between you and everything uncomfortable. But when I got sober, when the wall came down, the anger was still there. Every bit of it waiting. And I had no idea what to do with it, because nobody have ever taught me. Not how to feel it, not how to express it, know how to move it through my body without destroying something in the process. That's what this video is about. Not anger management, not how to suppress it, how to actually feel it, how to move it through you so it stops living in your body and ruining your life in the inside. So let's talk about what anger actually is, because most of us were taught that anger is a problem, a character flaw, a weakness, something to overcome. Psychology sees it differently. Anger is information. It's your nervous system telling you something here violates your values. Something here is crossed the boundary. Something here is not okay. It's one of the most important signals your body sends you. The problem isn't the anger. The problem is what we do with it, or more accurately, what we don't do with it. There is a concept in psychologically that is called emotional suppressing. When you consistently push your emotions down, anger, grief or fear, your body doesn't release them. It stores them in the muscles, in jaw, in the chest, in the pattern of how you breathe. Over time, suppressed anger becomes chronic anxiety, depression, emotional numbness, passive aggression, physical tension that never fully releases. You don't get rid of anger by not feeling it. You just change the form it takes. Jung calls this the shadow. The parts of yourself you reject, the emotions you deem unacceptable, don't disappear into nothing. They move into your unconscious, and from there they run your behavior without your permission. The person who never gets angry on public often has the most explosive inner world. The person who prides themselves for calmness is sometimes the most controlled, in a worst sense. Real emotional health isn't about never feeling anger. It's about having a relationship with it, knowing what it's telling you, and knowing how to move it through you without it taking over. So what actually works? Not suppression, not exposure. Somewhere in between. What I call ecological release. Ways of moving your anger through your body that don't hurt you or anyone else. That honor that you are feeling without letting it run the show. Here are the ones that actually helped me. First, physical movement without intention. Not just going to the gym, not passive exercise. Movements where the explicit purpose is to release. For me, video games did this in a specific way. Not escapism, not numbing. When I played with full intensity, when I let myself get competitive, frustrated, loud, something moved. The control aggression of gaming, the permission to react, to lose, to win, gave my nervous system a context where anger is acceptable, where it had somewhere to go. It sounds too simple, but your body doesn't need elaborate rituals. It needs permission. Permission to feel what it's feeling. Other physical release that works: running until your lungs burn. Hitting a pillow, not gently, actually hitting it. Tearing paper, throwing ice in a bathtub. Any physical act where you give anger a body to move through. The second one, vocal release. This one takes courage. Screaming into a pillow, going into the forest to scream out loud. Not words, not arguments, just sound. The first time I did this, it felt ridiculous. Standing alone between the trees, making noise like an animal. And then something cracked open. Because anger lives in the throat, in chest, in held breath, giving it sound, even privately, even alone. Moves it in a way that nothing else does. Your nervous system doesn't need an audience. It needs an outlet. The voice is one of the most direct pathways from the inside of your body to the outside world. Using it fully without filtering it is one of the most underrated emotional releases. The third, writing without editing. Get a piece of paper, not screen, paper, and write the anger out. Everything, all of it, without reading it back, without making it pretty, without thinking who might see it. Then burn, tear it, throw it away. The point isn't to understand the anger yet. The point is to get it out from your body and into the physical world, so your nervous system stops carrying it alone. Understanding comes from release, after, not before. The fourth, naming it out loud.
What is happening? I won't let this define me.
This sounds the smallest, but might be the biggest. When you feel anger rising, instead of managing it, suppressing it, explaining it away, just say it out loud if nobody is there. I'm angry right now. This made me angry. I feel rage about this. Something about naming an emotion in the first person out loud activates the prefrontal cortex, creates a split seconds of space between feeling and reaction. Not to suppress the feeling, to be present with it. That space, tiny as it is where choice lives. I'm not a calm person because I don't feel anger. I'm calm when I am because I've learned how to give anger somewhere to go before it takes over. The forest, the pillow, the page, the video game at full intensity. The moments alone, where I allow myself to feel exactly what I feel. Nobody teaches us this. We taught to be appropriate, to regulate, to adult, to handle our emotions so they don't inconvenience someone. And there's a place for that. But underneath all the regulations, the anger still needs to move. Your body carries things longer than you realize. Give it permission not to destroy, not to explode, just to feel. That's not weakness, it's a beginning of something real. Tell me in comments how you deal with your anger, what works for you and what doesn't. And press like, subscribe, and let's rise together. Have a good flight, fam.